What better way to learn when you're corrected, especially if you are a little embarrassed? Man, I'll never forget that.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean? Be embarrassed in front of other people, I will never forget that lesson. And I'm not saying that that's how it needs to be done, but what I'm saying is we did not hold back in helping someone else. So I remember moving to California because that's where I went first. I went to California to go to school and all of that. And I remember asking people, hey, if I say something wrong, I was learning English as an adult, as a young adult, like,
Hmm.
will you please correct me? Because there's nothing worse to me than to say the wrong thing for the next 20 years and somebody's afraid of correcting me. So I would actually ask that. And then I moved to the South, Chris.
Mm. Well,
People don't go telling you that you're doing something wrong or that you're making a mistake because they are afraid of hurting your feelings. and
yes.
and though I appreciate that kindness and thoughtfulness, um I think we are disserviced when our brothers and sisters are not out there looking out for us, because there are so many things.
Mm.
There's wrong thinking that we grew up with. There are blind spots
Hmm.
that we all have. And if the people closest to us are not going to call us on it, then who will? I want for people to say, hey, maybe try it this way next time. Or, you know what I mean? I want to be corrected because Jesus said that, correct each other. Iron sharpens iron. And I don't know why, but it's a disservice to the next generation. And I believe that we can all be better if we can just take the time and go and knock on somebody's shoulder and say, hey, can I talk to you for a second? I noticed this. And it's all about approach. You don't have to be rude, but
Right.
hey, I've noticed this, and I think you can do better than that.
Mm.
I
Mm.
want that in my life. I
Man,
don't pretend to know it all.
there's a scripture that says that the Lord chastens whom he loves and corrects every son that he receives.
Yes. Yes.
So if you don't endure, if you can't handle the chastening, then you're not a son. You're not even identifying as somebody who understands that level of love. There is a
Yes.
level of love that you have to get to
Yes.
when you're able to correct somebody, when you're able to
Yes.
pull somebody aside and say, hey man, let me talk to you for a second, bro.
Yes.
um that's not cool. That's such and such, da da
Yeah.
da, whatever, da, da. And because we're everybody gets a trophy these days. Everybody,
Yes.
it's the participation trophies and that
Yes.
whole era where nobody's wrong and everybody wins. Everybody's
And your
okay.
truth is the truth, and don't let anybody tell you wrong, like you mentioned earlier.
It's like,
Absolutely.
oh, it just makes me want to throw up. I'm just because
Mm.
it's like, no. The Jesus said this: if you continue in my word, then are you my disciples indeed. And
Yes.
you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. He didn't say, and
Yeah.
then you shall know your truth. You shall know your
Yes.
truth, and your truth
No,
will make.
no, no.
No, it's not. There is. He said, I am the way, the
Yes.
only. I am the way,
Mhm.
the truth, and the life. And so I think that for us to be able to get our life, as people say, get your life, is to find ourselves being able to understand and embrace the truth. And you have
Yes.
to be able to surround yourself with people that are able to pour. I love the fact that you said that, you know, growing up where you grew up, that was a big thing. That was everybody's, because they love you, they correct you.
Yes.
Now, are there
And
people that
I tell my yes.
yeah, go ahead. No, keep going.
That's what I tell my kids all the time. They're like, well, why can't I have a phone when I'm in sixth or seventh grade? And no judgment here. Everybody does what they need to do for their kids. But that was just always a heated topic at my house. I said, because I love you too much. I know what this phone can do. I'm sorry, your mother is educated. I'm not going to do this to you because I love you too much. Or, yes, if I didn't love you, I would say, go in front of the TV all day. Sure, junk food, sure. I just love you too much not to tell you that there's a better way, that there are things that we have to do to be responsible with your health, with the temple of the Holy Spirit. I mean, there's just things that you need to do. And if I didn't care, it would be so much easier for me to just tell you, sure, I can be the cool mom any day.
Oh,
But but
yeah.
am I doing you any service in not teaching you?
Yeah, man. That
I'm
that's
not.
so there are a lot of you just hit a nerve for a lot of people because
Oh, I
even
know.
specifically in households that are divided as far as in divorce, because there's a fight to be the cool parent in a
Oh,
lot of
I know.
cases because you want to be the one that is
I've
loved.
lived it. Yes,
Yeah.
I've lived it.
It's like, oh, oh, I want to be the one. And honestly, for a while, I was feeling like that with Adrian because Christian Michael is usually was with us during the week. So Monday, like literally, we'll have a Monday until Friday.
Mhm.
So with us, it's all the structure stuff. It's all
Yes.
get up, get ready, get dressed for school,
Homework, school,
go to school.
shower. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like all of that, and then you go to bed, and then on the weekends you go with your mom, and it's the weekend, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you guys they got season passes to Universal
Yeah.
Studios and da da da, da. And
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
why can't we be? You know what? I'm gonna be the fun dad. You know what?
Hmm.
Tonight, son, you're gonna stay. We're gonna stay up and watch whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, you're not helping.
No.
First of all, let's deal with the fact that
No.
that I was dealing with an insecurity. I
Mhm.
thought that if I were to be the disciplinarian and the father and da da da
Mhm.
and the boring dad, that it was taking over, that he would love me less. And
Mhm.
so I'm gonna be the fun dad. It's so, or you know what? Let's flip it. And she can have him during the week, and we can have him on the weekends, and then
Mhm. Mhm.
we'll take
Mhm.
trips and we'll go to and it's like,
Yeah.
bro, no.
You're doing a disservice to your child, and permissiveness has very short term effects. And yes, for a little bit, you might not be the cool parent. And for a little bit, you might be the bad cop. You know what I mean? But in the long run, that's not how it works. When your kid matures and understands how easy it is to be the cool guy and to be permissive and to be then, and how difficult it is to actually teach. And oh my word, all these whites here are from my now 16-year-old, and I tell her all the time, I said, do you want to parent yourself? Because
Woo!
what you're telling me now is that what I am trying to do is not right. So in your 16-year-old undeveloped frontal lobe, do you want to parent yourself? No. Then you must listen.
Wow.
There is a reason that God gave you parents. There is a reason why you are not even fully developed until you're 25 years old to make your own decisions and to know right from wrong. And why did you? I don't know why I did that. Yeah, that is right. You don't know. So it is short term. And I think that we all fall into that trap a little bit, but intentionality is what's going to get you out of there. I will be an intentional parent. This is what I want long term. If I want this long term for my children, this is what I got to do in the short term. And here we've been talking about parenting. I'm like,
Yeah,
we're going to talk about
I know.
music and we're going to be. I'm like, here we are talking about parenting. I'm like, Lord, I have nightmares.
But here's the deal. Honestly, there's probably more parents listening to this than musicians, and that's just the
Oh,
reality.
yeah.
And
And I'm just
oh my
messing with
gosh,
you.
I
I mean,
love when we have these kinds of conversations. I feel like I'm the one who benefits the most because I get to have conversations with my friends like yourself that have such a depth, a well of wisdom that helps to inform me of how to move because none of us have it all. None of us have it all. And that
no.
balance that you were talking about earlier, which we're about to go back to, is part of that balance and getting that balance is being around people that are smarter than you,
My
that
word,
know more.
please. I'm not smarter than you. But here's the thing. We learn from each other, and we all have faced different battles and different walks. And this is what fellowship is about. This
Mm,
is what community is about. And when we actually openly and honestly share, man, you're learning. I'm learning. The people listening are learning. But I feel like a lot of times at church, we like to the make put on makeup and put on the masks of we got it all together,
yeah.
and nobody benefits from that because you are not healing and you're not helping anybody else heal because we're all pretending that everything is okay, and that's, I don't think that's cool. So it's like parenting on Facebook is awesome because you just get to post the highlights and look at the award and look at my athlete kid or my musician kid or my smart kid. But we we learn way more when that parent posts, you know what, today I failed,
Mm,
and I am so glad that I get to go to bed, and tomorrow God's mercies are new again because I get to try again. Anyways, I think that the realness and the honesty that we
yeah.
can share in a fellowship of believers is so valuable, and a lot of times we don't take full advantage of it.
You're right. Because it's tough to be vulnerable because we do live in an age where we show people our highlights. We show
Yes.
people, like, my wife and I went to dinner the other night, date night, and we, for what, I have no idea why we take a picture of our food. I don't, but we do.
Okay, I just
It's
did that yesterday,
right,
but
right. It's like we do. I do. It's the first thing I do. I'm like, nice. That looks great. I mean, like, and it's funny because we don't post it. We're there are some people that
no,
go out on date night and they're like, help me figure out what I want to eat, or help
yeah,
me figure out what to
yeah,
wear on my date night and all that kind of stuff. That's not my deal. I just not. I
no.
can't. I just can't.
I,
But
I just want to remember what that was like so that I can try to replicate. That's why I take
me,
the
I'm not trying to
pictures.
replicate it. All I know is because I'm gonna order the same thing when I go back there the next time. I want to know. So
Or not. Yeah.
or not. But at the end of my life, I'll be looking through my phone like, "Ooh, that was a good meal. I remember that. That was the one with the yeah, the sautéed. Yeah, oh, that was good.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. But there are a lot of people who, again, we have to post date night, out here, da-da, and we're accustomed to showing everybody our
Oof.
best. We're
Yeah.
accustomed to the veneer of life. We're accustomed to, the shiny, um
Yeah.
the gloss and the glitz and the glamour. But one of the reasons why we can't have authentic fellowship
Yeah.
is because we presume that we have to be perfect, just like you started off with. The
Yeah.
presumption of perfection is rotting the core of our fellowship, and we don't
Yes.
even know each other. We don't even
Yes.
know each other. We don't know that the person that you're sitting next to, or the person that you're neighbors with or whatever, are dealing with some very, very real things,
Yeah.
because they think that you're perfect and you're thinking that they're perfect, and so you don't want to say what your where your
Yeah.
spots are.
No, I'm not going to expose myself.
No,
That's
who does that? No.
Mhm.
But Jesus even said, "Yo, stick your hand in this thing. Here, put your hand on my side. I want you to this is we saw him in the Garden of Gethsemane,
Yeah.
where literally the word made flesh had a conflict with God's will, his will in this moment. And it's like, you know what? Nevertheless. But he showed us that, but we don't show each other the weaknesses and the missteps. Like, we can read about the Bible, the stories in the Bible, like David and things he did wrong, and or
Mhm.
where Abraham lied, or where this, da da da.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I think we rob ourselves of a genuine fellowship and authenticity if we don't share our missteps with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And we have
again,
to.
how are your kids going to learn if we are not authentic with them? And if we are authentic, we're going to share our missteps. There's nothing that they cannot learn from our own experience when we share. But to me is sitting across from this pastor's wife that had gone through a miscarriage, and she was hurting, and I could have sat there and still Bible studies, not Bible study, Bible verses on her, and all things contribute, and there's nothing that I could do all that, but it was way more meaningful when I sat there and I said, I've been through it.
Mm,
And guess what? There was a time I couldn't even pray
mm.
because I felt like that was punishment. That where is the good God? You know? And I if I don't she's like, I feel the same way. I can't pray. Man, we both learned so much. We grew through that experience. But I think, again, we just rob ourselves from being vulnerable and from being open. And I don't even know how we got here, but
Yeah. Who knows?
yes.
Don't know how we got
That's
there,
what
but
good conversation is about, you
that's
know? It's just,
absolutely, absolutely. So as we end, as we wrap this up, I want to talk to you a little bit more about balance and how you do it, because you are, a wonderful, wife to your husband, mother to your children. You're a performing artist, and all of the other things that you do. Like, what are some of the challenges that you've run into as it pertains to balance, and how do you realign yourself when you feel yourself pulling too much to one way or the other?
I just, going back to what I said earlier, having grace towards myself and understanding that there are seasons of life that I will be out of balance. But if I keep my eye on the banquet table that is prepared for me, instead of just the fast food drive-through meals, I will eventually get back there. Does that
Mm,
make sense? Because I'm keeping my eye on that. To me, Chris, was understanding those seasons. Like I remember being pregnant with my first child and thinking, I want this child to be born into a established ministry at church that she can grow up and be a part of until she's, I don't know, 14, 15 years old. So I funded it, or founded. How do you say that?
yeah, you
I
found
was
it.
the founder.
You were the founded. I
I
founded.
was I founded a kids choir at my
Oh.
church because I wanted my kid to be a part of the very thing that, looking back now, saved me. It was
Mm,
the kids. It was the kids choir at my church, in that along with my kids, hundreds of others could be blessed by it. 18 years later, and I am 3 years from being done being the choir director, the kids choir director at my church, and hundreds of kids have passed through my choir. We've recorded multiple projects. I have beautiful relationships with kids that keep in touch with these day to this day. I've seen them grow in front of me, but that took understanding that during that time, I wouldn't be able to put the time into me,
mm.
into my artistry. Does that make
Oh,
sense? That
yes.
it would have to be a sacrifice because I wouldn't have been able to do all of it well done. And the crazy thing is that I thought that for the longest time, that's what God wanted me to do. God wanted me to be a Christian artist who would not only share music, but share life experience and authenticity in my walk and the things that I have learned. And little did I know that the most beautiful part of my journey has been actually working with these kids and instilling in them the love for Christ and the love for service and the love for worship. And I got to teach my kids that, and I mean, what a better gift than to see. I feel like I've replicated myself in the
Mm,
lives of all these kids, that maybe one day when they have their kids, they're going to feel like, man, I want to do what Miss Gisela did for us. And I want to teach my kid that. And now there's hundreds of them out there, through the years. But
wow.
it did take, okay, I can't put in as much on me right now. I'm
Yeah.
going to put it on this. And, as my kids started to grow, I'm like, okay, now I can have a little bit of time for me. But to me, Chris, is where do I get the biggest bang for my buck? It's whatever I can teach these kids about worshiping the Creator, the God Almighty, and serving others. So that is what I want to do for me. That's what I want to do in my life, but that's what I want to teach others to do, and that's where I get most out of my investment. It's just spending time abbreviating the kingdom of God the best way that I can. No,
Mhm.
I can't be on the road as an artist because I have kids and I have a church ministry, and that's important.
Yeah.
But then can I do that online and with digital distribution? And I mean, I work for a label in Brazil for,
Yeah.
yes, you can do that, but to me is understanding, and sometimes it might be your marriage that needs a little more love and care, and now I'm not gonna produce this year. It's gonna
Mm.
be my children or my marriage or whatever it is that's requiring attention at the moment.
That is so good. It reminds me of uh, the reality that balance doesn't mean that everything is shared equally. I'm going to
No.
spend 2 hours with my husband, 2 hours with my kids,
Yeah.
2 hours by myself. I'm gonna, it's like
Yeah.
that's not a good representation. I think that's an unrealistic representation of balance. I'm reminded of the children of Israel when they were in Egypt and they had to move with the cloud. Whenever the cloud moved, that's when they moved, and whenever it stayed, that's where it stayed. And I think that we find grace when we move with the cloud,
Yeah.
when you recognize that this is going to take more of my time, because we only have 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
um, God is the only one that's not bound by time that he created,
Yes.
so we've got a certain amount of time, but we might look at it as 24 hours, but God might be looking at it as this is the time where, like you said, the season for you to do
Mhm.
this. And then when that shifts to this, then you have to be willing to move with the cloud, let that go and move
Yes.
over here, and then I will raise this up. um, Putting yourself, maybe this is not the season for you to be going and getting the manicures and the pedicures and the this, that, and the spa
Oh
treatment,
Lord, no,
you
yes.
know.
Did I shower today? I mean, that's kind of like the season
It's like,
we've all been through. If you're a parent,
right.
it's
At some point you go through
nails.
that and
What's
it's,
that?
yeah, exactly. And those things aren't even important. But then there comes a season where it changes. And then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna go spend time doing this and pampering myself and da da da, whatever, da da da. And then when the seasons change, well, I'm diving in on the work thing. So being able to flow, I think it's the rhythm of life. Where in an orchestra, you have to play your notes, but you also have to sit your rest in order to
Yes.
make this whole thing work, because it's not, yours isn't the only page here. There's
No.
so many pages and there's a conductor that is directing the entire thing, and so I need you to play your notes but also to sit your rest. You have to
And
flow it.
is there do you have wisdom and discernment and intentionality to be able to realize when your season is shifting? That
Mm,
is the only way that you can stay balanced. Is wait, where does my attention need to go now? And I think, Chris, that we people in ministry have failed many times into spending time for God and not spending time with God. And that is big, because you can be out there and preaching to the whole world, but if you're not actually spending time at the table, feasting from the banquet that he has prepared for you, then how are you even going to be able to distinguish anything if you are not centered and grounded? If you are eating from the drive-through, instead of spending time at the table. And Louis Giglio says this. His actually prepares a table and says that it, God sits there and says, "So how are you, Chris? what's going on? And you get to sit with God and share about you because He loves you and He cares. And that's the person that's going to fuel you and point you to where you need to go and guide you and make you
Man,
prosper. And we are not spending that time. We're just
so
quick meal, quick little devotional, quick little prayer here and there. uh, we can only achieve that balance if we are centered and grounded and eating from the banquet that God has prepared for us.
that is so beautiful. My son, and a lot of times we like this place called Huey Magoo's or any like Chick-fil-A or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
one thing I've noticed about my son. This is amazing. He does not like to eat in the car. He
Okay.
doesn't like to eat in the
Yeah.
car. So we'll stop at Chick-fil-A, and it can be another 15-minute ride home. He does not like to eat in the car. I'm like, hey son, you can go ahead and
He'll wait.
he will wait
Yeah.
because when he
Good
gets
for you.
home, he loves to sit
Yeah.
at the table.
Yeah.
And I think that that is one of the greatest compliments or the greatest accomplishments of our parenting is that he longs for the table.
Mhm.
I want
That's awesome.
to long for the table.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you brought that up because that is helping me and so many others and maybe even yourself to continue to prioritize the table. We can jump in the car because we're headed somewhere. You know, go ahead and grab this
Yeah.
real quick and eat it up.
Always on the
You know,
go.
put things. Yeah, give me two of them. Give me some sauces and stuff like that or whatever. And we got some napkins in case we make a mess. And then we're off to the next thing. But there's something about sitting at the table and just even if it is the
It,
same meal,
yeah.
it's the
Yes.
the presence that
It's
we are able to give.
stopping whatever it is that you're doing and focusing on that for a minute. Because, and honestly, I feel like that is why sometimes one of the reasons, not the only reasons, we go through hardship. Because while we are in the desert, while we are in the valley, is when we take the most amount of time to come to the table. Isn't that true? We,
Man,
when everything is fine, it's all drive-through meals, like, yo, just thank you so much. I mean, a little bit. But man, when we are hurting, we're waking up in the middle of the night to pray. You're on your knees, you're reading everything you can get your hands on, and you're listening to the worship music 24/7 because you can't feed enough. You can't have enough of him. And I think that he allows us to go through valleys because he misses us. He's like, I want you here at the table chatting. I'm tired of the quick little checking in on you. And isn't that when we learn the most? I feel like we go through it, and if we worship through it, you kind of climb a little bit in your walk, and then you plateau and you go through the desert again and you worship through it and you climb a little bit. And oh, it's a beautiful journey, my
it's a
friend.
beautiful journey, and I am so happy to be on this journey with you, my sister. This conversation is life to me, and I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for, again, like I said, your vulnerability, your wisdom, and just sharing yourself. This has been just from meeting you that first day in Nashville. It just that from that day to this, I've been looking forward to a conversation like this because you have so much life in you. You have so much wisdom in you. You have so much love in you. And those are the kinds of people that I love to be around to help shape who I am in the body of Christ. And this is
Yes.
beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. This is the good stuff. This is why we call it the good stuff. Gisela?
Thank you so
That's why
much
we
for
call it.
having me and,
That's why we
and
call it.
having this open, awesome, good conversation. I think it's priceless. Thank you.
Thank you. Hopefully we do it again.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have plenty of things to talk about.
Yes. More kid stuff.
Oh,
Just kidding. Just kidding.
hey, we've established it. It's hard and it's amazing all at the same
All at the
time.
same time.